Making fun of someone with a disability is retarded.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jim, and if you're all about EDC, this is the right place for you. Normally when I come out here and talk about flashlights, I talk about lights that are practical, that are useful, that give you a high degree of performance, an incredible form factor, or an incredible value, or sometimes everything all at once. Today I want to take a look at a few that are probably more fun than they are practical. And a couple in here will throw some tricks in that prevent them from just being fun, and they do actually have a practical side to them. See, when you take a look at something like this, like the Sofern SC23, this light is a tactical style light. It's made purely for performance. No frills, nothing ridiculous, nothing crazy, just a black tube light with a really strong LED and a good solid 21700 battery, which gives you power and longevity. Super cool. But you know what? So does this one right over here. This is a very cool night core. This is the EDC 35, and while I've already done a full review on this light, if you don't know what's special about this, I want to show you right now. Because in its base form, it's just a plain black light. But this particular variation I got from Neil's Gadgets in a customized form that the whole light has this glow material done in it. And the same thing here with my Immolent BL50. It is also a normal plain black bodied light that has a little bit of extra PIMP added to it. Now, let's start things off with lights that were intended to be fun and different and unique. Something like this, the Menker Light Timeback 3. Now, this particular variation was a special limited edition made for a website called G1.com. They only made 50 in this variation. When I was initially searching this light out, what I wanted was the all white that had the black accents. So basically it was the opposite of this. Everything here that you see white was black. Everything here that you see black was white. And I thought that was a really cool looking little light. This one's a bit more special because on the original, the white portions were aluminum and the black portions were brass that were plated black. This one's a bit more special, also weighs a little bit more. All the black portions on here are actually bead blasted zirconium, and the white portions are titanium that are ceramic coated white. So more exotic, much more expensive materials that were put into this one. But it was about the light show in the tail cap that really excited me because I like this size of light. An 18350 battery light I really enjoy. And this one was a bit more unique. Kind of has like a lightsaber look to it. I didn't care about all the fidget toys that they attached to it, but I do find myself spinning this one when I pick it up. I don't really mess with the other fidgets that are on there. This is a little pushy. This one's a spinny. And this one, I don't know, a twirly? I don't know, but it's got stops in between. So it's got some neat features to it that make it different from everything else. There's also this feature here. You've got this magnetic head that is swappable. Let me put that back on there the proper way. To a thrower head that they have available. This, as you could see with the frosted TIR optic, is going to be more for a very floody spreading light. And they have a different head that has a clear optic. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it did have a pretty deep dish. I think it had a pretty deep reflector. Anyway, that one's made more for throw. Now, this is not cheap. This is a $300 light. And they are mass-produced. So it's not a full custom like a Henko or something like that. So you're spending $300 for a mass-produced light and more. They make, I think, one that was $700 in Timascus or Mokutai. This one, I think, is worth a little bit more closer to the price because it's so rare, only 50 being made. I dig it. Now, the range you've got in the modes is a tenth of a lumen up to 2,500 lumens. So this is actually a darn powerful light. And all I got to do is get it out of the lock mode here. I always forget it takes a second for it to unlock. There's a pause to it. 2,500 lumens is definitely respectable out of such a little light. And again, you've got that cool light show that you can program in the tail switch just by holding it down. Oops. Switching it around. And I'm going to be doing a full review on this light shortly, so you'll get the chance to see everything as it operates. I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet, but there will be a full review on this coming soon. Another thing that I dig is that the RGB lights that even come through here, I don't know if I can, there we go, probably be able to see that a little bit easier now. The RGB lights that come through here will also be visible through the little simulated sapphires that are on the rotating bezel. So all in all, fun, cool. It's a bit heavy for such a small light for EDC, but there's nothing impractical about it. It is a useful light that will do what you want it to do. I'm not crazy about the pocket clip, just kind of hovering over the body like that. If the pocket of your pants or shorts or whatever is kind of thin, this $300 light could just fall out and end up in the street. Now, I've got this off to the side only because it is an Anduril 2 light with blinkies and auxiliary RGBs, but this is, I mean, everybody knows this light. It's the MSR D4V2. They're extremely popular. Everybody knows about them. This is much more of a practical light than just a fun light, but it's got some great fun features as well. As I mentioned, the RGB capabilities in both the head and the switch are fantastic. And that leads me straight on over to this Workhos that I just got not too long ago. This is the TS11. And what's funny about this is when I first got it, I didn't know that it had Anduril 2 in it. So I didn't know that there were auxiliary RGBs built into it. And I started playing with it. I'm like, oh, wait, it's got all kinds of cool, neat stuff in here. This is fun. Now, this is actually more of a serious light, actually. It's a mini thrower with a lot of power, but because it has the auxiliary RGBs, it's a lot more eye-catching and fun than just being a straightforward, boring pocket thrower. You've got blinky modes like lightning storm and candle mode, and then you've got the adjustability for all the different modes in the auxiliary RGBs. And they're pretty simple to access once you've learned how to use Anduril, which I'm not going to be giving you a whole guide here on how to do it, but if you want to change the color modes that it's on, which right now I have mine, this is set to let me know what my battery charge level is. When my battery charge is basically completely full, the switch and the head RGBs will be blue. As it starts to deplete a little bit, it kind of goes to white and then to green, and then so on forth down the line through different colors. Right now, it's in between full and like 90%, so it's kind of going back and forth between the green and the blue. But it's obviously not doing it as quickly as this one does. So if I wanted to change this up, and let's say I only wanted to have red or blue or green, or a fast rainbow or slow rainbow, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and hold. And then I watch, and then I go, okay, when I get to the color that I want or the mode that I want, I just simply let go. So that would be the fast rainbow. Again, I'll turn off the lights to make this a little bit more visible for you. Reset my focus. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, hold. And if I just want to have one color, let's say it's green, now I can just do that. I gotta turn these around, they're giving me too much light. How cool is that? Now, this is another one that, yes, it's got some cool pimp stuff going on because of this particular variation, but it is a serious performer, and I really, really enjoy using this light. But again, that 10-year-old in my head took over, and I had to have the cool, hey, look at the stuff that glows on it. I had to have that variation of it. There was just no way around it. But let's talk about this. You've got a 3600 lumen light. I want to focus on the OLED screen here. Oops. 3600 lumens, guys, in a light this small. That's insanity. Now, another great thing is you have instant access on the side switch here to the moonlight mode, and you double click, and you've got the UV mode. And the UV mode works exceptionally well. I've actually got quite a lot of power in the UV mode. It's so cool. As far as the UV goes, it's 698 milliwatts, which I don't know much about UV. I'm assuming that's a lot. And then I added this lanyard with the glowing bead. I've got a few of these on a few different things, and I just think they're absolutely the coolest thing in the world. Because again, sometimes you just want fun stuff. So you can have practical. You can have practical with a little bit of silliness. You can have straight up practical, practical for a very specific purpose, and a little bit of fun added into it, or something just crazy, just nutty, just something that your friends won't have. Now, out of all these, the ones that I carry the most, I carry my little ray light here, the Lan Apple, because it is a practical light. It is very, very slim, very small, very easy to carry. This is one of my favorite lights of all time. Truly love that light. And in titanium, it's only $109. In the aluminum versions, they're like $30 to $40. They're super inexpensive. I carry a variety of the different Soferns. This is a newer one to me, but it's quickly becoming a favorite, the SC33. Crazy, ridiculous power. This one stays in one of the bags that I use all the time. I like it because it has a manual lockout, so I can't screw up and turn this 5,000 lumen light on in my pocket or in the bag or anything else. This is a powerhouse. Out of all the tactical style lights I own, this is my hands down favorite. It's not even close. That Lumen Shield technology that they have built in there is super easy to use. It's crazy, ridiculously powerful, and it gives me both throw and flood in the extremes at the same time when I'm activating the Lumen Shield. How about turning off the lock first? It's an amazing performer. This I really don't carry all that often. I'm probably going to end up selling it at some point soon. It's fun, it's cool, it's amazingly well made. The quality and the craftsmanship, you can feel it, and it's very, very solid, very high-end feeling. It's just a light that I'm not doing much with. And I'm kind of more on the practical side with how I collect at the end. You know, I will just jump on stuff and buy stuff because I think it's cool and it's fun, it's unique, it's different, it's wild. But to stay in my collection, it's got to be useful. This is a killer thrower. I really, really like that light. It's very easy to carry. This is going to be great for Halloween trick-or-treating. And this is another one that it's not very practical in my collection. Probably going to keep it anyway just because it's fun to show off. And then, yeah, I mean, an MSR, you've got godlike powers in your hand. And it's also got some cool beauty to it. So there's reasons for having everything. This is a serious hobby for a lot of people, but it doesn't have to be stuffy and serious. You can have fun with it. There's a lot of cool little things that you can get into. And if you really want to just jump headfirst into the deep end, you get something that has Anduril 2 in it, and you try and work your way through it. You learn all the different modes and how to access the modes and try to get your clicker finger, clicker thumb, whatever it is, in tune with all that. It's not quite as easy to use as the Raylight UI, or certainly not as easy to use as this. This is as simple as it gets, man. Click on, click off, half press, full press. I mean, it just doesn't get simpler. That's another reason I really like this one, and it's my go-to reach for tactical style light. And this one may not be the easiest to hold, even though it's very comfortable, but to use the controls, well, again, you've got a tail switch here. So the way that they want you to hold it, you really can't get to it. Turn that off. Bingo. But the power is crazy. 1200 lumens at medium, guys. 2000 lumens at high. And 3600 on turbo. So yeah, there's lots of reasons to fall in love with the BL50 as well. Full review coming on that soon. This review is done. This review is forthcoming. This review I just uploaded. This review is coming. This review is coming. This review is coming. And that one is already done. So that's a quick look at lights that are a little bit more fun than they are practical, with a couple sprinkled in that were fairly practical as well. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I just wanted to have a little bit of fun and talk lights. I'm out of here for now. I'll come back with more serious reviews on the next video.